The film begins with Henry sitting alone in a toll booth, working the night shift. The night is quiet, nothing is happening. In the morning, he returns home. His wife Debbie greets him. She has made breakfast. She is glowing, as if she has been waiting for this moment. Before Henry has time to answer her question, there is a sudden knock at the door. He opens it to find his friend Eddie standing on the doorstep with an unhealthy-looking man named Joe. Joe is pale, sweating profusely, and nauseous. Debbie, being a nurse, immediately rushes to his aid, while Eddie asks Henry to replace Joe on the baseball team. Joe is not feeling well enough to play, but the team is still there. Henry has no idea that Eddie and the other players have put on masks, grabbed guns, and gone to rob a bank. Henry knows nothing about this, he is just sitting in the car. But when the alarm goes off, the robbers run away, leaving Henry alone. A police officer nearby notices him and becomes suspicious. Henry is wearing the same uniform as the robbers. "We know this wasn't your idea, Thorne, and these guys aren't your friends. Why are you getting involved with them? You're looking at 3 to 7 years, Henry. The court has sentenced Henry Thorne to 3 years in prison." "Hi, sorry. I'm Max." Henry. The next morning at breakfast, Max reflects that almost every prisoner once had dreams, but everything went wrong. He asks Henry what his dream was. Henry replies that he never had a dream. "The real crime is not fulfilling your dream." "What's yours?" "I'm not sure I have one." "You don't have a dream? What kind of life is that?" "Well, look where it got you. 6 months later. How are you?" "Fine. I have something to tell you. I've fallen in love with someone else. It just happened." Strangely, Henry takes it all in stride. He tells Debbie that the most important thing is for her to be happy. Months pass. Max listens as Henry jokingly tells the other inmates that he can pretend to be dangerous if it means they won't let him out. The parole board asks, "If we decide to release you, what will you do?" "I'll break into your house and kill your dog, then burn the house down and rip out the tongues of every living creature I can find with my claws." They were scared shitless. "When's your parole hearing?" "In a month." "Everyone knows Henry is innocent." "I didn't do anything, but you served your time, so you might as well have done something. If you served your time, then you might as well commit a crime, right? Tell me about your dream." "Life in prison. It's much easier to live. You don't have to prove anything." Henry is granted parole. After leaving prison, he visits Debbie and is surprised to learn that Joe now occupies the most important place in her life. Debbie is pregnant, just as she dreamed, and Henry tries to digest all the changes that have taken place. Later, he stands in front of the very bank where this whole story began. He doesn't notice the approaching car that hits him. Behind the wheel is a woman named Julia, who yells at him for not paying attention. "Hello, how are you? I've seen you somewhere before." "Yes, you better be careful." Whiskey in the bank vault. The headline in the newspaper Henry is reading reports an attempted bank robbery through a tunnel. He goes outside and notices that there is indeed a tunnel between the bank and the theater across the street. Max is not enthusiastic about the idea and makes it clear that he will not be easily persuaded. Later, Henry goes to the theater, where Julia is rehearsing a play. They go to a cafe and talk. Henry praises her acting, unlike the director, who criticized her harshly. Julie thanks him for not suing her after the accident. Meanwhile, Max is undergoing a parole review. He follows Henry's advice to behave well in front of the commission, and they release him. "See you, George. Where's the car?" "I don't have a car. Take me back. Max, everything will be fine." With his old school charm, Max gets all the info he needs about the bank vault. Now they're heading back to the theater to find the tunnel. Julie isn't pied to see Henry again, especially with Max. He pretends as if I had once performed on this stage, more and more classics. Shakespeare, of course. "May I take advantage of your kindness again and ask you to give me a little tour of the theater?" "Well, that's possible. I'll show you around." "Wonderful. Thank you." "Henry?" "Of course, go ahead. Is he your father?" "No, just a friend." "Really? Does he look like your father?" "The Holy of Holies, as if it were yesterday." "This way, please." Memories. The man giving the backstage tour gets carried away with his story and shows the exact spot where the tunnel was built. Max starts knocking on the walls, trying to find out what's behind them. Later, Max and the tour guide return just as Henry confesses to Julie that he was recently released from prison. Don't go to prison. "Julia, please. I'm coming. Later at home, Max brings up the topic again of how they will carry the soil from the excavation to the roof. Meanwhile, Henry is getting ready for a date. How do I look? Like Henry? Won't you miss me? No, come on, don't worry. It was a great day. Go have dinner. Sorry I'm late. Hi, Henry. Hi, how was rehearsal? After dinner they go to a nearby waterfall. It is there that Henry opens up to Julie for the first time. He tells her how he ended up in prison, and then, with a half smile, admits that he is seriously considering robbing a bank. Julie finds it hard to believe his story, but she enjoys being with him. You're going to rob a bank that you already served time for robbing? Yes, you're awesome, Henry. You know how to make people laugh. Well, let's go freeze. I can't believe I'm sitting here. Me neither. God knows I love my country. Page 21. Keep reading. Really, as if you were talking to me. Go away, my wagon. I just want you to believe me as before. One more time. I'm so glad I knocked you down. Me too. After an unexpected kiss, Henry is captivated by Julie's energy. Her courage, her will to live, her bright soul. Everything about her aroused admiration. It was everything he himself lacked. They decide to follow their hearts and spend their nights together, not as casual lovers, but with all the passion and tenderness. The next day, they return to Max's apartment together. We'll take the trash from the tunnel to the roof. It's okay, she knows. She knows? Well, I didn't know about the trash on the roof, of course. Did you spill the beans? It's okay, Max. Nothing is okay. It's not kosher. What were you in prison for, Max? I was a con artist. So you mean you gained people's trust and then ripped them off? Aren't you afraid of getting caught? Oh, I love prison. You really are a criminal. A greedy little criminal. At breakfast, Max asks Julie to drive him to the theater. On the way, they talk and Henry reminds Max about the car. While he and Julie are driving, Max has an idea to try out for the play so he can get access to the tunnel again. Coincidence or fate, the actor cast in the lead role suddenly drops out. Why? We could already be digging. Do you think so? If we could get into that dressing room, I have an idea. Well, you could play Lopakin. I can't be Lopakin, I'm not an actor. But you're not a bank robber either, and you got involved in that business. She said you have talent, so what? What? Talent is talent. There must be another way. No, this is what we need. You'll be great, mark my words. You? What's the matter? Mr. Melodragovich in West End itself. Goodbye, Darek, and I'm sorry, we can schedule an audition for tomorrow. I have a whole list, you won't get it. So Henry can play Lopakin? Yes. Don't refuse right away, think about it carefully. Almost immediately after Henry gets the part, they gain full access to the room leading to the tunnel. But soon they realize that digging a tunnel together is an impossible task. Yes. How's it going, Joe? How's business? It's gone under. All I have left is a garage full of Korean plastic. Anyway, Joe, we can help you. What do you say? I think it's better to get guns and take the money out the front door. Joseph, this isn't one of those stupid robberies with a lot of eyes. As Julie continues her work, she understands Henry better and better. He is completely devoted to the cause and never lets his comrades down, and isn't chasing money. All he wants is to start a new life.